Welcome back to the Crypto Power Hour, the #1 crypto show on Rumble, of course, with your hosts, myself, Lance Miliaccio, and George Ballantine, the Crypto Bros. This is your ultimate deep dive in everything crypto, blockchain, and decentralized finance. I don't care whether you're a seasoned investor or a newbie just stepping into the world of digital assets for the very first time. We're going to bring you expert insights, top interviews, exciting new projects, breaking news, and game-changing innovations shaping the future of digital finance. Because, of course, on this show, in crypto we trust, brought to you by our friends over at Solum Global. George B., 7 a.m. It's rise and grind, crack of the morning. What's up, bro? How is it going on your end?
It's going, actually Kirk, the founder of Solum Global, he's actually flying in to New York. He should be here in 2 hours. So, yep. It's one of them days. Hopefully big things come out of today. We'll see. Keep your hopes up. Say some prayer. Huh?
Lots going on over at Solum. They're definitely working their hind butts off, getting things done. But of course, we appreciate the support from the show.
Yep.
And don't forget, if you love the show, if you like the show, give us a thumbs up, a comment, a share. Take the live link during the show, share it far and wide. It is the #1 crypto show on Rumble. So, take it, use it to grow your own social media. If you'd like to be a guest and you're in the crypto decentralized blockchain world, of course, hit us up over at info@thebigmig.com. We'll reach back out to you if we like your project. We might just interview you on the show. And of course, as always, follow Solum Global on X, the Crypto Power Hour X, okay? And of course, Lance Miliaccio and G. Ballantine. George doesn't get the extra character. They cut him short, so he only gets to go by G.
Yeah, I got to talk to Elon about that.
I would say top G, but that's too close to Andrew Tate. You wouldn't like that.
No.
So anyway, happy you guys are here. We love our crypto. We love our sponsors. Gold and Silver is one of our sponsors, and we love it. We love the people over at Genesis Gold Group. And this is the Prepper Bar. 62.2 gram Prepper Bar, perforated and very easily broken down to your choice of 3 separate denominations. I'll tilt the bar. Take a look, a small, a medium, and large. They're available in both gold and silver. They just got a restock, so they're super flush over at Genesis Gold Group. And of course, doesn't matter whether it's for asset protection from inflation, diversification, economic turmoil, which there's plenty of that going on, or in the case of the Prepper Bar, it's very unique utility in barter and trade. Makes a lot of sense to have some Prepper Bars on hand, gold and silver. Get a few, hold on to them. You can pass them down to your children if you don't end up needing them. But if you need them, it's better to have them and not need them than need them and not have them. Of course, we've got some promo codes for you. We want to get you that discount as viewers of the Crypto Power Hour and, of course, the Big Mig Show. Big Mig Gold, that'll get you 5% off on the gold Prepper Bar. And the Big Mig Silver will get you 10% off on the silver Prepper Bar. Head over to thebigmigbar.com. Don't go there now. Wait till after the show. Or we make it easy for you with that QR code. Take a snapshot. That'll take you directly there. Or you can give them a call if you don't want to do either one of those. 888-526-7154. 888-526-7154. Just follow the Bouncing Prepper Bar. Thebigmigbar.com.
Break me off a piece of that Prepper Bar.
What did you say, the Bouncing Prepper Bar?
Yeah, they used to in the old commercials. You watch follow the bouncing ball, and they would sing along with the balls. Take me out to the ballpark. Take me out to. You don't remember that? They used to do it at the stadiums.
Yeah, I know.
You would sing along. At the Yankee Stadium. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, look, lots of questions. Always, people are always saying, "Well, what are George and you buying?" First of all, nothing on this show is financial advice. It's educational advice. Always talk to your own financial advisors, your own crypto experts. Here's the key, though. You don't want to be a dummy. You want us to educate you. And one of the top token verticals that George and I invest in the altcoin world are the ISO 20022 tokens and what the future holds for those tokens. So we wanted to give you an update. There's lots going on. Look, and I want to say this. Everybody out there is getting boo-hoo. They're down, right? The crypto's down. Like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Listen, we're at the conception phase of crypto. It's not even, in my opinion, the infancy. It's at the early stages. It's no different than tech. got to just, don't invest money that you're panicked about, and think about the long term. Don't get all panicky online. I see so many people crying. It's just, oh God.
Wow. You know what, Lance? People, when it comes to investing their money, and especially for the future, the kids, things ain't moving. People be upset. It's right. It's rightful for to be upset. Listen, I'm upset. Crypto has been stagnant. But it's only because our beautiful, esteemed government officials want to keep holding up the Clarity Act in the Senate. Once it gets passed, watch the transformation. You're at a point right now. It is what it is. But I can tell you this, and I'll speak for myself, not to give advice, but I'll speak for Lance too, because his money's my money. I take our money if I have any extra money. Because crypto you can get good prices on and variety of cryptos. We put it in that, and we're just holding on to it because it's going to go up.
Exactly. And it will. And that's the key, buying quality projects. For the people out there that are meme coin people, I know a lot of people made money, man, but meme coins that's a dangerous world. And you have to be so entrenched into it, and there's so many scams. It's tough enough to stay out of all the pig butchering and all the other scams. I've got another scam today. You're not even going to believe it when I tell you about it in the news stuff. It's crazy. Can't believe it happened. So here's the deal. ISO 2002 tokens. These are 8 cryptos. And of course, they're quietly becoming the plumbing for the new global banking system. And, the key is that the financial world is absolutely undergoing, I would have to think, its biggest upgrade in literally decades. And most people have no idea what's happening. They don't really understand it. They don't know what the banks or SWIFT and central banks and the payment giants are all switching to a single universal language for moving money. It's always been SWIFT, domestically and internationally. This time, the language is called ISO 20022. So instead of SWIFT, you just say, the banking system's on the ISO 20022. And of course, while hype coins chase all the viral trends, a small group of cryptocurrencies have purpose. They're built to speak the exact language that is needed in our financial and banking systems. And these just aren't tokens. These are the bridges. These are the rails. These are the translators connecting the traditional finance, for TradeFi, to the blockchain, future of instant payments, tokenized assets, CBDCs, global trade. So we felt like an educational deep dive was important today because we don't want you guys floundering around. If you watch the Crypto Power Hour, I want you guys to be experts in your own right. Tuning into our show at 7 a.m. on Wednesdays and 7 a.m. on Fridays is your first step to crypto freedom. That's number one. Number two, sharing that information with your friends and family members. And then the best thing you can do for us to thank us is just hit that follow button because George puts a lot of work into these educational pieces. He looks for images.
Tired.
It's a lot of work. No, but it's a lot of work. And at the end of the day, we want you guys, the way you can appreciate it, sure, you can give us a Rumble Rant tip if you want, or you can tip us in the crypto wallet. The great thing about the crypto wallet is...
All right, send me 1 Bitcoin. Don't send me 10. Just send me 1. I'll be happy.
All right, George will be happy with 1 Bitcoin. He's moved it down from 10. Listen, a couple of sats, a couple other, some Ethereum, maybe some Solana or XRP. Listen, we're motivated for all of it, and you can do it right through the Rumble wallet. And of course, don't forget Rumble Premium. You can get it with Perplexity. So if you're paying for Perplexity, cancel your Perplexity subscription, come over here and pay for Perplexity through Rumble, and then you're going to get Rumble Premium for free. It makes so much sense just to do it like that. Rumble is committed. Their biggest partner is Tether. You guys know that. It's a big commitment. They're making the big moves. It's our home base. You can find us on YouTube and locals also, but Rumble is really our home base. So, all right. So the ISO 20022 is live. It's all coming into play right now. And the default standard for major banks, SWIFT, the Fed, the ECB, and instant payment systems worldwide. So that's all transitioning. And listen, there are only 8. That's right. 8. You can do it like this. 8
Ocho
major cryptos that are truly aligned with this new system. You've got XRP, which is Ripple. You've got XLM, right? You've got HBAR, Hedera Hashgraph, of course. You've Algorand, which goes by Algo. You've got IOTA. You've got XDC, QNT, and of course, Cardano, which goes by ADA. And they were designed and put together with this standard in mind. All of these 8 cryptos work together and they all provide backbone and rails for part of the new system. So when people say to me, well, you know, what coins are safe? These are the coins that I believe have the biggest future. I really do. Of course, you don't see Bitcoin on there, and it's not because Bitcoin isn't a store of value, and I'm not telling you that Bitcoin isn't valuable. I'm saying that this is a different vertical, and this is the vertical if you're looking for utility, if you're looking for infrastructure, if you're looking at the future of banking and finance, this is the future, right? So this is real utility. It's not hype. And all these projects are going to enable for you guys, and why this is relevant, seamless cross-border payments, asset tokenization, right? Real world asset tokenization, IoT micropayments, right? And institutional interoperability. So you're like, what does that mean? That means it's going to be a smooth system. And of course, it's going to be fully encrypted. Now, everybody talks about quantum. Sure, quantum's got to be considered in this whole structure. And that goes for everything in the banking and finance world. It goes for everything you've got online. But, you know, you might say, why now? First of all, this system, the SWIFT system, hasn't been updated in forever. All right. The full migration deadlines have passed. A lot of that, I think, has to do with government regulation. But listen, the institutions are actively investing and they're integrating these compatible rails because the switchover is going to take a minute. And, you know, one day they're going to say, okay, we're on ISO 2002, but there's still going to be some stuff they're going to have to work through. And the investment angle for you is infrastructure plays that could see steady adoption, driven growth, right? As the tokenized economy scales, as its regulation moves into place, right? Regulation we understand, not Gary Gensler, I'm going to, you know, jam it right up your rear end, right? We don't need any more of that. The new guy is super pro crypto, right? That's coming in. What's his name? George Warsh?
Warsh, yeah.
Yeah. So he's so super pro crypto. So that's a good sign. So this is the system. And, you know, I want to give it to you in an explanation. Think like this, okay? This is a super simple breakdown, you know, for the newbies in the audience. And if you guys are in the chat, please get in the chat. Let us know how you feel. Leave us a comment too. Rumble's got new algorithms coming in. We need the reposts. We need the live reposts. We need the chats. All that stuff is coming into play. Live views really matter. So get in here, engage, you know, participate, and don't feel shy, man. You don't have to feel shy. Even if you think there are no dumb questions, right? There's only good answers for any question. Go ahead, George. I'm sorry.
So, because I always wonder this, so maybe because we're doing education, probably explain this part. And if people look at it, like, why is it called ISO 2022? Well, that's the banking numbers they use. It's actually, think of it like universal language for payment securities and trade messages. But it's an international organization for standardization identification number. And this is for this standard, which acts as a successor from the ISO 15022. And there was even one before it. Because I always said, like,
read that one more time for the audience, George, just so they get it, because that's so well said.
ISO 2022 is an international standard for electronic data interchange between financial institutions, acting as a universal language for payment, securities, and trade messages. And the number 2022 refers specifically to the International Organization for Standardization Identification Number for this standard. And this is it came from the successor of ISO 15022. So it's really like bank terminology, and that's, you know, financial terminology.
Like but a lot of people really didn't understand the SWIFT system. Yeah. But, you know, look at it like this. Everything upgrades.
But the key thing is international.
Your software upgrades, your cars upgrade, right? There's always some new gimmick in cars. The banking system needs an upgrade. Think about the old banking system. It's kind of like sending letters with vague instructions. It's easy to lose details and error prone, also much more easily hackable because it's on an old system. It's on an old backbone. ISO 2022 is the new structured rich data XML messaging standard, right? So get that. Rich data XML messaging standard. And that's going to make every financial message extremely clear, very complete, and machine readable. So this is a big upgrade. And it carries far more information per transaction than SWIFT does. You've got payer details. You've got the purpose. You've got invoices. You've got compliance data. You've got confirmation data. You know, you've got encryption. There's a lot of things that go into that messaging compared to the old MT messages. And you have to say, so you're probably saying, well, why does it exist? Why do we need this? because the legacy systems that we have in place right now, they cause delays, super high costs. Sending stuff internationally, you know, they just jam you up if you send it international, right? There's a lot of errors. The fraud risks are getting worse and worse because it's not as secure as the new blockchain system, right? So this was created by the International Organization for Standardization. And the whole idea is to support, first of all, have you ever sent a wire internationally and it took freaking forever? Your family member, you were sending a birthday. My wife has family in Africa, as an example, and in the UK. She'll send something to somebody. She'll send some money because she's always helping out her family. And they'll be like, oh, I still haven't gotten it. Oh, I still haven't gotten it. It'll be days later. Instant global payments. You got better compliance. You got much better anti-money laundering embedded into it. You've got the chance to tokenize assets and real world assets coming online, which is just going to expand the market. Of course, you got CBDCs. You got full interoperability between banks, blockchains, and new tech. And all this stuff, all this switching is going to be completed by the end of 2026. Unless, of course, DC doesn't get off its ass and get the regulation passed that's needed to finish up.
You know what? If they don't, we're gonna be left in the dust. Because, you know,
no doubt.
President Trump actually said he wants to be the crypto capital of the world, but I'm sorry to say it's not looking like that if the Congress don't get their act together, because
no doubt. There is no doubt.
It's almost like they're doing it on purpose. You know what, Lance?
I got to tell you,
you know what?
Is a very valid point.
You know what? I know what it is. And it just came to me, revelation. They're doing this on purpose because they're probably buying up crypto. I need to see their wallets, all these people in Senate and Congress wallets.
Yeah.
Probably buying stuff, waiting to accumulate enough money to buy enough crypto because they know they're going to pass it and then it's going to go up and they're going to make a lot of money. Hint, hint, people.
Yeah, nudge, nudge, hint, hint.
It's crazy. It's just ridiculous.
So when you look at this stuff, right? So you've got this global standard for financial messaging that's converting. You've got the RMG, which for you guys, you might not know the term. It's the Registration Management Group. So that's an elite body, and they're really the ones shaping the standard. XRP and XLM are crypto members. So Ripple, XRP, XLM, Cardano, and the interoperability, that's the crypto and traditional systems communicating without friction. So you've got the old system, right? It's got to be integrated in the new system, and eventually the old system will be completely phased out. But in the meantime, you can't just flip a switch because a lot of the old system wouldn't be able to communicate. So all those bridges, all those contracts and all that communication, that's what's going on right now. All the refining of that and vetting it and making sure there aren't any issues, that it isn't hackable, that everything's communicating the way it should be. So now, the big thing is going to be all these converting these real world assets into digital tokens on all these compliant backbones, these compliant networks. So that real estate titles are going to come online. There's Solum Global's got a company that they've built that's actually putting gold on the blockchain. So mining companies can actually secure their mining assets that are in the ground and get financing based on real world pricing and not get screwed by the hedge funds or the finance funds. So for the gold world, huge change. For the valuable mineral, platinum, iridium, copper, zinc, all going to be big stuff, right? And then you've got real estate all over the globe in foreign countries that for the longest time people haven't been able to monetize. They might own a bunch of property, but there's really nobody monetizing. Just like you can't really, very difficult to pull a loan if you're looking at international real estate. Almost impossible, really. So, look, I want to explain each token of the 8, and I want to tell you why it's ISO 20022 and what the project does. So I didn't go into crazy detail on this. If you guys miss any of this, you can always come back and watch, and you can go look it up yourself. You can go use AI or however, you can go onto YouTube. But here, XRP Ripple, let's start with them. So why it's ISO 20022? So they're an official RMG member. RippleNet built natively for the ISO messaging. That was the whole plan with Brad Garlinghouse. It was the whole plan with Schwartz and everybody that did the programming. And they wanted to look for a product that could fill all the gaps that Bitcoin didn't fill. So what this project specifically does is it's ultra fast, extremely low cost cross-border settlements, and it's liquidity for the banks. Now that's the key. That's why a lot of people put these valuations on XRP, because I don't know if people in the audience know this. Every time XRP, a transaction is made, XRP gets burned. Now, burning a token means it's never coming back. Every transaction burns XRP tokens. That's why they minted so many in the beginning, because they know this is multi-trillion dollars worth of cross-border settlements and liquidity for banks. You're going to need trillions and trillions for a global settlement. That's why Ripple was built the way it was built. And here's how it fits the future. It's a bridge asset. So it can go between fiat, it can go between digital, of course, CBDC, or ledger for instant final settlements. You know, and you know, I wanted to make sure you heard some of the recent news on these projects. So the big news with Ripple is the constant ongoing bank integration and all the leadership talking about it in post-migration payment flows. All that's going on. So anybody tells you, oh, XRP, blah, blah, blah. I think this is a very undervalued asset based on the future of XRP. So again, not financial advice, talk to your own financial advisor, but it's very reasonable right now. Many people scoffed at Bitcoin in 2009. Some people bought it, they dumped it. Look, even David Schwartz, he bought a bunch of Bitcoin and he sold it when it was like nothing. He did the same thing with Ethereum. He sold Ethereum at $1 and change. Can you imagine? And he owned 40,000 Ethereum that he sold it at $1 and change. So you guys know how much money he lost. Let's talk about XLM, which is Stellar. That's the Stellar. And it's an official RMG member again. It's focused on standardized, inclusive payments. So basically how XLM fits into the new ISO system, cheap, instant transfers for remittances, payroll, and financial inclusion. And it powers everyday global movement on rails banks already understand. So this is part of the integration of the old system meeting the new system, and that's what XLM brings to the table. And of course, the adoption, you've seen it. XLM is being spoken about in all the emerging markets and remittance platforms. They're all talking about it. So that's a big one. George, why don't you take us from header to hash graph from HBAR?
Hold on. Where you at, header and hash? Oh,
header to hash graph. Yeah, HBAR number 3.
HBAR. Okay, HBAR. Header
of the 8. Number 3 of the 8.
Hash graph. So, why is ISO 2022 enterprise? It's an enterprise-focused network with native support for regulated financial messaging. And like, if you look at what this project is going to do, it's fast. HBAR is definitely fast. It's carbon negative ledger governed by global corporations. So, but you look at now, we'll keep just going. Let's list like, well, how's it going to fit into my future, your future, anybody's future? It's scalable tokenization and compliant, high volume enterprise use. Which means what? You're gonna have big time use. It's scalable. And it's workable. That's the way I look. I try to keep this guy simple. So it's expanding partnerships as ISO becomes mandatory for institutions. Did you hear what I just said? Did you get that? Did you get that little part? As it's becoming mandatory for institutions. Only problem is, and I'll keep saying this, is Senate's holding it up. Then we got Algorand, which is, we say algo, not algorithms.
Number 4.
Number 4. Its purpose was built for institutional finance with seamless ISO integration. It's secure, it's fast, and this is one I like too. Low-fee blockchain for DeFi and real-world assets. In our future, I'm going to read the crystal ball here. It's ideal for issuing regulated tokens and bridging TradeFi to on-chain. Now, their continued traction with banks and governments seeking compliant infrastructure. So they're anybody that's gonna work banks and kind of actually hopefully end up taking over what the bankers do. I think it's big news. Big news for everybody because we don't like the banks. Nobody wants the banks. They can go to you know where. All right, Lance. Number 5, Myota. You know what's funny how they have this? It's named Myota, but their acronym is IOTA. Just put the M. Make it, you know.
But, their token is IOTA. And I agree with you.
I know. It's just funny the way.
A lot of these companies seem to do that, but MIOTA is their actual, their blockchain network. And it's interesting, it's, I I agree with you.
It's just
confusing for sure.
Tangle, which is acronym DAG, DAG, it's optimized for data-rich machine-to-machine transactions. Now, it's fearless ledger for IoT and actually devices autonomously paying and transacting. What's the future hold? It powers smart cities. If you look at that power, that's where we're headed. As technology keeps advancing, you're going to see they have smart cities up now, I think in Saudi Arabia and a couple other places, UAE maybe. Mm-hmm. And I think Saudi Arabia is actually building a huge smart city, probably bigger than a city. But, if they're working into that part, I think about it. It's going to be so scalable. There's going to be so much innovation, so much room to grow. But they're integrating into, I think, very top-notch ideas. I'm going to say smart cities, supply chains, and billions of micropayments. Billions of micropayments. Think about that. Little small payments, but it all adds up. It's all money. They got a strong position in IoT and finance convergence. Number 6 is the XDC network. See, Lance, they use the XDC. They're smart. They keep it simple.
Yeah.
They're built for trade finance with native iOS messaging support. They're hybrid chain for digitizing invoices. Gotta love that. And forget about paper. Bills of lading and supply chains. Now, in their future, they make for global trade documents and payments move together instantly. Think about that. When you got all those payments documents all moving together instantly, it makes your systems run smoothly. It's more efficient. Kind of what like Solon Global is doing in the healthcare sector with their healthcare wallet.
Yeah.
Taking all the billing, your records, everything in one place, moving seamlessly, you have control.
Yeah, I think streamlining is one of the big benefits of DeFi and blockchain and getting rid of all the different levels, right? So if you have a letter of credit, right, and you're going out to buy copper as an example, this system right here would kind of, really unify how you would submit for your trade documents and your payments. They would move together instantly. So your letter of credit, you were getting ready to buy copper, it would go on the chain. The copper would already be in the blockchain, so it would already be vetted and authenticated that your copper, if you were buying physical copper, it's sitting in a warehouse. All this would streamline, which of course is going to reduce fraud.
Yeah, I mean, so their big news is they have rising partnerships in international trade consortia. Number 7, Quant, which is QNT. Now, their Overledger OS, listen to this, connects any blockchain to legacy iOS systems.
This is huge.
I was just going to say that. It is very huge because you're taking older systems and it's going to connect any blockchain to it so it can integrate and then get you away from that legacy system. Anything that does that.
Let me say this for everybody, George. There's not going to be just one blockchain. Let me be clear. A lot of people are like, well, why do we have to have so many blockchains?
There's different blockchains.
Right. There are going to be multiple blockchains. And the reason that Quant is so important, because imagine it's the translator for multi-chain interoperability. It's the one that actually interfaces with the old Swiss systems, with the old legacy systems at the financial institutions, and it allows those systems to start communicating with all the separate blockchains. So this is like a multilingual translator is what this is.
I just want to look something up real quick while we're talking. So right now there's about 1,000 active blockchains. Just think about that.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I didn't think it was that many, but there is. And there's going to be more. So, but where was I at? So
translator.
Their project is multi-chain interoperability layer for enterprises and banks. They have in the future the universal translator, no need to rip and replace old systems, which is huge because you take an old system where you got to bring it over to the new system and like integrate it all. And this just simplifies it and its speed and quickness. That's one of the bigger things of these that I like. Anything that's innovative and to make things easier, I'm for it. Their big news is they have central bank pilots like Bank of England and growing adoption.
Let me say this. The Bank of England, George, is the oldest bank online, one of the oldest banks, if not the oldest bank.
Yeah.
Massive. And they've already got quant fully integrated on this pilot program. So they're already testing all their infrastructure, making sure that the Bank of England has the ability to communicate with all these different blockchains. Now, think about how massive that is. There's a major financial institution that's been around for literally hundreds of years. The Bank of England goes all the way back to the formation of England, which you guys know how old that is. And the point is, think about them already running the pilot program. So this stuff is coming. These tokens are all going to matter, and these companies are all going to matter. Go ahead.
Number 8, Cardano. ADA stands for. Their research-driven architecture supports full financial messaging standards, which does. It's secure, sustainable blockchain with strong governance and scalability. In their future, they bring compliant infrastructure to emerging markets and large tokenization projects. Now, institutional interest is due to the evidence-based, regulation-friendly design. What do you got? ISO 2022. It's not just a buzzword, man. It's the quiet rewiring of your entire global financial, I say system, some people call it nervous system, whatever. But that's what it's doing because we want to get rid of it, the SWIFT. These 8 tokens above aren't speculative memes. They are engineered infrastructure for the tokenized and operable economy that's already arriving. They're the ones that's for our future. Instead of using SWIFT in the banking, these are the top. These are your 8. These are your heavy hitters in that sense. So we're looking at banks. You know, they're slow to roll, but as they finish flipping the switch, these projects will move from potential to essential. Listen to that, from potential to essential. You can get in on it. The rails are being laid out right now. Understanding who's already on them could separate informed positioning from
FOMO.
You're missing out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. So manage your risk, stay ahead of the shift. Just think about it. You can go back and go over this. And don't forget, you watch it here on the Crypto Power Hour.
Exactly.
Take us a break,
now, before we take our break, we got to take a break. Make sure, listen, you just know we covered one of the most important topics in crypto. Take the live link. Take the short form content. We'll have all that up. Share it far and wide. Tell your family if they really want to understand this system that's coming up. We broke it down. We simplified it. That's what we do here on the Crypto Power Hour. ISO 2022. We just laid out the future of the banking and financial system for you guys. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with George Valentine, Lance Migliaccio. From Crypto We Trust, baby, the Crypto Power Hour, the #1 crypto show on Rumble. We got tons of news to cover. You're going to want to hear all of it.
It's hump day. It's Wednesday. That's right.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit WarriorDogFoundation.org.
All right, welcome back to the Crypto Power Hour, powered by Solum Global. Here we are, host Lance Migliaccio, yours truly, George Ballantine. Crypto Mafia in the chat. If you got a chance, come join the chat. Say hello. If you got questions, answers, anything you want, subjects you want us to cover, you can email us at info@thebigmig.com. But if you can do me a little favor, hit the thumbs up button, the like, follow, share. Send this out to your friends that help educate, help us grow the show. You want to subscribe, you help us out. Even more support. It's $5 a month. Truly appreciate it. We got the Rumble crypto wallet. If you want to send some crypto, I don't care. Send me anything. Whatever. Anything helps. We all appreciate everything you do. Well, Lance, we're going to do something for you now, because we got the perfect solution for the people who can't watch our crypto 24/7. Talking about BlockTrustIRA.com. They're bringing access to cryptocurrency wealth to everyday people. Their exclusive Animus AI trading platform works 24/7, analyzing market data and executing advanced crypto strategies that go far beyond buy and hold. This sophisticated technology once reserved only for Wall Street insiders, but guess what? And now it's available to you. And this system was named #1 crypto technology platform by Bitcoin Magazine out of more than 1,500 global competitors. Their clients are seeing over 250% returns on their investments, all with military-grade security and up to $200 million insurance. Your wealth is fully protected. So don't wait. Visit BigMigCrypto.com today and see how you can join this financial revolution. Once again, visit BigMigCrypto.com today and you can get up to $2,500 of free crypto. QR codes on the screen. Take a screenshot. The link is in the more section under the video too if you need it. We got you covered every which way. So no excuses. All you got to do is just click on it and go. All right. No surprise. Remember Sam Bankman-Fried when he picked every winner of the 2020s and his lawyers, what'd they do? They had to, not his lawyers, the state, sold them all at bottom prices. Now, Lance and I were just talking about this during the break.
Brutal.
And if you say if the FTX estate hadn't, well, some say panic sold its assets during bankruptcy, SBF would be sitting on $114 billion empire today. And he's watching all these trades from his prison cell. Oh, well, too bad, Mr. Fried. But, Lance, we talk about it. When it goes to the state, the primary goal is to get the people all that he defrauded get their money back. Yep. So, I mean, me personally, you can't lay blame on the whoever's running the estate or the lawyers. Because they got to do what the court tells them to do. Like, you have to sell off and, get the money and pay the people that were that lost their retirements or their savings, everything.
You know, I've dealt with some bankruptcy stuff in the past, trustees and otherwise, not myself, but I put somebody into involuntary bankruptcy that was trying to screw me on a business deal. And it was brutal. Their whole position on assets, they look at the creditors, and it's crazy the way they operate. At the end of the day, this data, it's almost impossible to believe. He bought Anthropic. Listen to these numbers. He bought Anthropic, 82.3 billion. You know, SPF bought an 8% stake for 500 million. The estate sold it for 1.3 billion in 24. And had they held that stake, had they convinced the creditors to just wait it out for a while, that stake is now worth over $80 billion. Pretty big come up there, 500 million to 80 billion. I got to give this kid credit. I thought he was kind of an idiot, and I'm starting to see a different guy now. I don't know. He bought into SpaceX, where at rock bottom prices, he got a 75x. Had they not liquidated it early,
75 times its investment.
Yep. Solana, a 27x. He bought in, and he was an early backer at $8. The estate offloaded a massive chunk at $64. And had they held it, 27x, 5.1 billion. He bought Robinhood. That turned into an 8x right now at 4.9 billion. Genesis Digital, that turned into a 3x at 3.5 billion. And the latest of the misfortunes, which is why I got on top of this story for you guys, Cursor. So in 2022, Alameda Research wrote a tiny $200,000 check for a 5% stake in that AI startup Cursor. In April of 23, the bankruptcy estate sold that entire stake back to Cursor for exactly what they paid, 200 grand. And yesterday, SpaceX announced a deal to buy Cursor for $60 billion. So that worthless 5% stake right now, that was for 200 grand, would be worth 300 billion.
I wonder why SpaceX buying that.
I don't know, but that is a 15,000x return that vanished because the lawyers wanted a quick exit. So SBF may very well have been a genius at picking generational winners, and a criminal, of course, in managing people's money. We know he did wrong, but the lawyers recovered 18 billion for users. If they had just held, they would have been sitting on 114 billion and the most valuable venture portfolio in history. So I got to give this guy credit, man. Picking that many winners, unfriggin' believable.
Yeah, would have been nice, but what happens when you want to be a thief? Eventually, he's going to catch up to you.
Well, unless you're a congressional member.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
Speaking of thieves.
Yeah, this is crazy. So
Uber crypto scam.
This one right here. Yeah. So this is it. I'm calling it the Uber crypto scam. But so this guy, he impersonated Uber drivers and stole $300,000 in crypto from the people that were coming on to ride in his Uber. So he's a fake Uber. So in 2024, this guy's name, he's a 40-year-old man named Nur Hussein. How about that? Nur Hussein. So he started waiting outside the W Hotel in Scottsdale, Arizona, which was a luxury hotel where a lot of wealthy crypto traders stayed during the conferences down in Scottsdale. And when a guest ordered a real Uber, he would pull up, call them by their name before the actual driver arrived. And once the car was moving, he would tell them his phone died or the Uber app was broken and ask to borrow their unlocked phone for directions. The moment he had the phone in his hand, he opened their wallet and transferred their Bitcoin straight into his own wallet. He handed the phone back, dropped them off, and just drove away. Of course, the victims usually didn't notice anything was wrong until they got an email hours later confirming they sent out thousands of dollars in crypto. And of course, when one victim asked for his phone back too quickly, Hussein told him to chill out and said, if you don't chill, something bad is going to happen. While a loaded gun sat in the center console between them. So he pulled this off at the same hotel on the same street corner for 9 months straight. And totally stole over $300,000 from at least 2 crypto holders. Of course, before the U.S. Secret Service figured out the scam and they joined the Scottsdale police to track him down. The lead detective on the case called it one of the most unusual fraud schemes he had ever seen and said it was extraordinarily rare to even be able to trace it back to the local suspect. To this date, no one has explained how he knew the victims' names before they ever got in his car.
I was going to say that, but when you order, even back then, you ordered an Uber, it tells you what kind of your Uber driver, who they are, kind of car they're coming in. People are not like, you're not paying attention to stuff like that.
Maybe people, I would think they would, but this is just going to show you, this is a tale of caution, right? This is one of those things that you just have
You want to know something, Lance?
Yeah.
You want to know how their names, right? I wonder if he was working with like local Uber drivers.
Maybe. He might have been working with other Uber drivers and been giving them a cut and said, just tell me the guy's name.
Yep. Think about
you
that.
Just don't show up and you'll never know. I think that's a very good point, George. George, I'm a little bit uneasy, though, that you figured that out so quickly because I didn't know how he did it. I thought maybe he might have been using like an IP scanner or some hacking tools, checking up cellular devices and maybe was able to identify through that.
He's working with Uber driver. He's working with other Uber drivers.
All right. Well, they keep telling. So, of course, situational awareness. Be careful. Don't let anybody use your phone. Tell them to, F off if they want to use your phone, especially if you have crypto wallets that are open on there. All right.
Or like on your iPhone, you could set each app where it has to, use facial recognition to even open it. Even though your phone's open, you could do that.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Okay. All right. They keep telling us AI isn't going to cost anybody any jobs. Oh, no, don't worry. Nobody's going to lose their job from AI. I would argue that is absolutely a falsehood, that is bullshit. Here we are, Coinbase CEO. We're cutting 14% of our staff thanks to AI. And a lot of people weren't happy about this. CEO Brian Armstrong says AI efficiencies reduce the need for workers. He's the co-founder of CEO and of Coinbase, as you guys know. And he was at the crypto summit in New York. Listen, they're going to slim down again. And this time the company is explicitly pointing to artificial intelligence as the reason why. He said Tuesday, the crypto exchange will cut about 14% of its workforce, roughly, listen to this, 700 jobs. Yeah, sure, AI isn't costing anybody their job as it tries to become leaner, faster, and more efficient, heading into what he described as the next phase of crypto adoption. So in a letter, Armstrong said AI tools now let engineers ship work in days that once took teams weeks, and that many internal processes are being automated. It's a new way of our working, and we need to leverage AI across every facet of our jobs. That came directly from Business Insider. So they plan to flatten their structure, no more than 5 layers between the CEO and production. So they want to eliminate roles for pure managers in favor of hands-on leaders and build AI native teams, including some one-person pods. Coinbase is joining firms like Snap, Block, and Atlassian into crediting AI-driven productivity gains with enabling staff reduction. So he says that U.S. employees who are impacted are going to receive at least 16 weeks of base pay, plus additional severance, equity vesting, and health coverage. A lot cheaper. Going to be cutting down. It's going to happen in every business. When all these businesses figure out what they can do, get ready.
Where they do a lot. First, the big cuts come with customer service.
Yeah.
Where you need help or you need, you got to go through all that AI stuff before you can get a live agent. Because, yeah, that's what about everything. It's pain, but.
All right, George, remember how we covered the fake Ledger app on Apple?
I do.
A lot of people, $9 million worth of crypto stolen. Well, it gets worse. Looks like there are counterfeit Nano Plus ledgers. Some people are speculating they're coming out of China. I don't know. But a security researcher just documented a large-scale counterfeit Ledger Nano S Plus operation selling compromised devices across multiple online marketplaces. So I would tell you that if you have a Nano S Plus version T1 or any other one you bought recently, you better have it checked out. And I would recommend getting off it ASAP if you're not sure. So the fake units look identical on the outside to the real thing, but contain completely different hardware.
I wonder where they're buying these units from.
Well, they're saying multiple platforms. I don't know which platforms they were available on, and I don't know if they've all been pulled. That's the scary part. Because, a lot of online retailers might not even know. They might have just been buying, thinking they were buying from Ledger. Because my understanding is there was a fake website for the corporate Ledger and everything. So the fake units look identical to the real thing, different hardware. And instead of Ledger's secure element chip, the counterfeit runs an ESP32 microcontroller with modified firmware labeled Nano S Plus version 2.1. The seeds and pins are stored in plain text and transmitted to attacker-controlled servers. Any wallet initialized on this device is completely drained. Now that image you guys see, those to me, they look damn near identical, George. This is a hard one here. We tell you that to secure your crypto, go on to a cold storage wallet. Well, here's a cold storage wallet that's compromised. So this is frightening. I don't know exactly how they're going to fix this immediately. I don't know how many of these are out in the marketplace. But it goes beyond the hardware. We told you.
I wonder which one's the real one, which one's the fake one.
Well, they say this is the same group who distributed that fake version of the Ledger Live.
In that picture there's two of them. Is one real, one's fake?
Yeah.
Which one's the fake one? Which one's the real one?
I don't know.
I'm going to say, because if you look at the one that's closest to the tip of his fingers, it's got a little white and the black. And so.
You think that's the fake one?
I have no idea.
I don't know either. But these guys distributed a fake version of Ledger Live. They built it with React Native and signed it with a debug certificate. And it intercepted transactions and exfiltrates sensitive data to multiple command and control servers. So the campaign spans 5 attack vectors: compromised hardware, Android APKs, Windows executables, Mac OS installers, and iOS apps. And of course, they distributed those through test flight to bypass App Store review. Of course, this came days.
They took that site down, right? Obviously.
Yeah, and this, Zach XBT, if you're not following him on X, I recommend you do. The guy really does do it. He documented that fake Ledger Live app that made it through Apple Mac's App Store review process, which is just unbelievable. It ended up draining over $9.5 million from more than 50 victims. One musician named G Love, he lost 5.92 Bitcoin after entering the recovery phrase in what he believed was a legitimate app. So now you got to worry about cold storage. You got to worry about apps. You got to worry about getting in Ubers. This is getting pretty sophisticated, man. You guys really have to be aware. Don't flaunt your crypto. Don't talk about.
You know what's amazing? Stuff. I'm on Ledger's site, right, and I'm looking at that wallet, and on Ledger's, the real one, it says Ledger on it with like hyphens around it.
Well.
Unless they switched it up recently.
Say the solution is this: don't buy from second-party resellers. Buy your hardware wallets only from direct manufacturer websites. Never enter your recovery phrase into any software. If a companion app asks for your 24 words on a screen, it's a scam every time. So that's the important part, paying attention to those things and not taking a chance.
What'd you say, if a companion app?
Yeah, if a companion app asks for your 24 words.
Why don't you explain to everybody what a companion app is, Lance?
Well, a companion app would be an app that actually integrates with a wallet that has to do with transfers. But at the end of the day, this gets tricky because if you're not doing it through a Ledger-approved site, you have to wonder, is that companion app a scam? You have to be very cautious. There's no doubt. George made a very good statement a couple of weeks ago. He said, look, don't send the full amount. If you got to send something, send $1 to prove that it's going to the right source. Especially if you're sending it to friends and family members. So,
yep, definitely.
All right. Well, Hong Kong is warning that stablecoin licensing will remain highly selective going forward. They're saying the future stablecoin licenses will remain tightly limited after approving its first 2 issuers. They've approved HSBC, which makes sense, and of course Anchor Point Financial, both Hong Kong-based, companies. But of course, they plan to assess real market performance before expanding approvals, despite receiving 36 different applications. So they're going to the authority there is going to use strict operational risk and cross-border requirements. They're going to reinforce cautious but innovation-oriented framework that could support long-term crypto adoption with regulated financial systems. So they're going to be refining the digital asset strategy as stablecoin transition, of course, from concept to deployment. This is big stuff. We'll keep an eye on it for you, but I think this is going to be, tricky to navigate because, of course, with China running Hong Kong, everything changed in Hong Kong, George.
Yeah. When it comes to anything China, I don't trust it. Just for the fact if you're flying through, even on a layover, they can just come and demand your phone and computers and open
they want
your
to see
crypto.
your crypto wallets.
You can imagine if you give your phone to some communist Chinese security officials, whatever, and you can't see what they're doing with your phone. They could be installing something on it where you go out with your flight, and like a few days later, all of a sudden they boom, your stuff is emptied out. Whether it could be your banking, crypto. Yeah. Nice try.
Very valid point, Joyce. Very valid point.
Oh.
All right. Well, listen, that's it for the Crypto Power Hour for today. And if you're not following us on social media, let me give you the drill. You got Crypto Power Hour, X, also on Getter and True Social. You've got Solum Global, X, True Social, Getter. You've got Lance Miliaccio on X, G. Ballantine on X, The Big Mig Show on X. And don't forget this show, Wednesday, 7 a.m., Friday, 7 a.m., 2 days a week, two times the educational and #1 crypto show on Rumble. And of course, you got The Big Mig Show, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. So after this show, don't forget, set your notifications, hit the follow button here, and go over to The Big Mig Show, hit the follow button there. You'll get more of this. We cover all kinds of topics in The Big Mig Show. It's a variety show. And of course, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m., so we'll always catch you there. All right, last words. It's peace out from me.
I don't know. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. Enjoy the day. We'll see you at 11 a.m. for The Big Mig Show. You guys stay blessed.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit WarriorDogFoundation.org.